today does mark the beginning of the end, the beginning of what we need to do to create jobs for Americans scrambling in the wake of layoffs, the beginning of what we need to do to provide relief for families worried that they won't be able to pay next month's bills, the beginning of the first steps to set our economy on a firmer foundation, paving the way to long-term growth and prosperity. The American Recovery and Reinvestment Act that I will sign today, a plan that meets the principles I laid out in January, is the most sweeping economic recovery package in our history. This plan will save or create over 3 million jobs, almost all of them in the private sector.
In its life, it will create 4 million jobs, 400,000 jobs almost immediately.
To creating new clean energy technologies and the jobs that come with it.
Balance is a shift to a clean energy economy. And the jobs that are created as a result of this shift are going to help us change the used to be's into this is going to be.
Only a $1 trillion market. The opportunities to be so much more expansive here for green jobs, for the future of our country, is something that we ought to really continue to put all our energies into.
Is that we are in that package investing billions and billions and billions of dollars into energy efficiency, into weatherization, and into sustainable energy.
We invested $67 billion to develop clean energy and $500 million more to train a new green-collar workforce.
It took 35 years to reach our current renewable energy capacity. And in 3 years, we're going to double that because of the help of the Congress.
We now have an administration who gets it. We now have a Capitol Hill who gets it. And we now have an American people who are hungry to make it happen.
On this vote, the yeas are 70, the nays are 28. The motion to concur is agreed to.
This is a very strong signal. We must address the jobs issue, and this is very exciting.
The bill does a number of things that are very important. It cuts businesses' taxes as an incentive to hire unemployed people. It gives business even more tax breaks for keeping those workers on a payroll and investing in their company's future. And 3, it extends and expands 2 important programs, the Build America Bonds program and our Highway Trust Fund.
The highway construction bill, the job credits for hiring, the small business expensing is all designed to get people back to work and to accelerate the recovery, get it moving so that it is self-sustained.
We're just getting started. Our goal is to make sure we get bills passed that do help people get more jobs. That's what they want.
Today's progress is a small step forward, but an important step forward. But we have other things in mind. Remember, we don't have a jobs bill. We have a jobs agenda.
Because we have a jobs agenda, not just a jobs bill, we will keep at it and at it and at it. We're already knowledgeable about what we want to do next, and we have many, many other ideas related to small business and many other areas till America gets back to work.
I am announcing a new plan for rebuilding and modernizing America's roads and rails and runways for the long term.
President Obama has a plan to jumpstart the economy by dumping $50 billion into the country's infrastructure. He says it's going to create jobs, but isn't that what the first stimulus was supposed to do last year? In fact, the Department of Transportation got $38.6 billion last year. About half of that has been paid out, only half. So where's the rest of the money going, and why aren't those billions stimulating the economy?
Hello and welcome. I'm Colleen McEdwards at CNN Center. You are watching World Business Today. Well, it is the worst jobless rate in a generation. U.S. unemployment now running at 10.2%. And that is the first time the jobless rate has been in double digits since April 1983. Got something to show you here, a nice graph. You can see just how far unemployment has soared. This is just in the last year. If you look down at the bottom, that's November 2008. The jobless rate stood at 6.8%. And then you see 1 year later, it is up over that 10% threshold. The spike worse than expected. Economists had forecast the rate would increase to 9.9%.
Well, new employment numbers just come out first Friday of every new month. We get them, and we got them today. And employment now stands at 9.8%, worst we've seen since June of 1983. Another sign that, again, the government support of all these outdated systems, obviously not creating jobs. The Labor Department saying that 263,000 people lost their job last month. That is much worse than had been forecast. In fact, all told, more than 15 million Americans are now out of work. And if you factor in laid-off workers who've settled for part-time work or have given up their search altogether, the unemployment rate now at 17%. Since the recession began nearly 2 years ago, more than 7 million jobs have been slashed, and the unemployment rate has doubled and continues to rise.
The president could feel it today as he stepped out to talk about the new jobs numbers. They're in, and they're kind of mediocre. But that's okay. The president's going to fire up the crowd anyway.
I am announcing a new plan